that can help expand the business.
Right. So when are you going to announce your Slate deal with Netflix?
We have are incredible, and they haven't really been told. We're like Marvel for music.
You ever notice how every company is suddenly a studio now? I mean, Apple, the computer company, makes TV shows. Amazon, the shopping place, makes blockbusters. Even Lego has its own cinematic universe. Now, Warner Music wants in. Yeah, Warner Music Group, the record label, is reportedly in talks with Netflix to turn its music catalog into movies, documentaries, and series.
Areas that can help expand the business.
Right. So when are you going to announce your Slate deal with Netflix?
I'm not sure whether you heard that, but so obviously I cannot confirm anything. But if you step back and think about this, it makes a lot. Our company has tremendous catalog: Prince, Madonna, Fleetwood Mac. It just goes on and on and on. The stories that we have are incredible, and they haven't really been told. We're like Marvel for music. That's where we are, and it will be unlocked, and so it makes a lot of sense for us to partner with a company that can bring it to life all around the world. And it's exciting both for acts who are no longer with us, but we make their estates happy and satisfied, but also for acts who are with us, who then can actually help bring young audiences to the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So, if you talk about it in principle,
a dream music documentary that you want to see?
There's no way I can answer that question.
Like choosing between your children?
Exactly.
Okay, do you have a favorite recent one that you've seen?
Favorite recent one? I haven't watched one lately.
I really like I thought the Led Zeppelin one was great.
Oh yeah, that actually, yes.
And I think that...
Let that sink in. We're talking about the label behind Prince, Fleetwood Mac, Madonna, Linkin Park, Aretha Franklin. Basically the soundtrack of modern pop culture trying to turn its archives into bingeable IP. On the surface, brilliant move. Music is timeless. Stories sell. Netflix needs content. But here's the question nobody's asking. If labels and streamers are cashing in on catalogs, what happens to the artists who built them? Because I'll be honest with you, I've always been against musicians selling their catalogs. Not because it's not smart money, but because once you sell your story, you no longer get to decide how it's told. And if Warner pulls this off with Netflix, it's gonna be the blueprint, or the cautionary tale for how creative ownership and storytelling collide in the next decade. Let's unpack what's really happening here. This isn't about music, it's about IP conversion. Warner isn't trying to revive vinyl. They're trying to monetize mythology. See, music catalogs used to make money through radio spins, album sales, and streaming royalties. Now, the real money is in retelling, turning songs into screenplays and legends into licensing opportunities. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors? That's already a soap opera. Prince versus Warner? That's a trilogy. Linkin Park's Rise and Heartbreak? That's an entire docuseries arc. Warner's realizing that the most valuable part of its catalog isn't the sound, it's the story behind the sound. Netflix is the perfect partner and the perfect warning sign. Netflix has a global stage, but a content problem. It's built on other people's IPs, books, comics, podcasts, true crime stories. Music catalogs give them something fresh. Pre-sold nostalgia, emotional recognition baked in. You don't need to explain who Prince is. You just play Purple Rain and people feel something. That's why this partnership makes perfect sense. Netflix gets ready-made fan bases. Warner gets to extend its legacy into a cinematic universe. But here's the catch. The artists don't always own the story anymore. Because a lot of those catalogs, the same ones Netflix would dramatize, were sold off by the artists themselves or controlled by the labels. So when the movie or doc drops, it might not even be their version of the truth. And that's where my problem kind of starts. I'm not anti-business. I'm anti-creative amnesia. Look, I get it. Selling your catalog can be a retirement plan. Hundreds of millions up front, fewer headaches, generational wealth. But here's the trade-off no one talks about. When you sell your catalog, you sell the ability to reimagine yourself. You sell the rights to own your legacy. That means 20 years from now, someone else can remix your pain, dramatize your story, and profit off your memories without ever calling you. And with technology, they don't need anything. And when the platform's Netflix, that version of your life becomes canon. You can't correct it, you can't remix it, you can't even reclaim it. That's what's at stake here. This is the convergence era, where every company wants to own emotion. Disney owns childhood, Apple owns aesthetics, Meta wants your social life, and now Warner wants to own your nostalgia. We're watching the music industry transform into the storytelling industry. And honestly, that's not a bad thing, if the artists are in control, because every creator has a catalog, not just musicians. Your videos, your art, your podcast, your brand. That's your story catalog. That's your intellectual property. So, when I look at this Warner-Netflix deal, I see both sides of the play. It's a genius move for the label. It's a warning sign for everyone else. If you don't protect your creative IP, someone else will license your life for content. For creators, here's the cheat code. Own your archives. Because Warner's showing us what the future looks like. And it's phygital, there's that word again, narrative, and IP-driven. You may not have a music catalog, but you have content equity. Start thinking like a studio. Don't just make content, build worlds. Don't just tell stories, own the story rights. Don't just chase viral hits, create replay value. That's how you win in the new economy, by being the label and the artist and the studio. So, here's where I land on all of this. The Warner-Netflix partnership is brilliant business, but it can also be a cautionary tale. It proves that story is the new streaming currency. The future of music, media, and marketing isn't about plays or views. It might be about ownership. If you control your narrative, you control your value. If you sell it too early, you might get rich, but you might lose the right to rewrite your own history. And in the business of play, that's the ultimate loss. So, I'll leave you with this question. If Netflix came knocking tomorrow, would you sell them your story? Because in a world where every label becomes a studio and every story becomes a show, the only real assets left is authenticity. This is the business of play, according to Cassius Clay. Like, follow, and sub on LinkedIn and YouTube for more content just like this.